Hello and welcome to Cigar Box Guitars, aka the Dutch Man in San Marcos. I am the DISM, and we bring you another show, and I hope you enjoy it. It's Saturday again. We always post on Saturday, so be sure to tune in, like, subscribe, make comments. We appreciate them all, and let's get going. Okay, well, let's get going. We got a lot of work done. As you can see, it's starting to look like a cigar box guitar. First thing we did was, let me show you, was we got the neck in order, as you can see, and I'll give you a close-up. As you can see, we rounded all this off, sanded everything, so it's looking really good. And then we've got our little tail. Normally you'll see these the other way, but since I made this upside down, and the coin, excuse my language, the bastard style, I made the tailpiece the bastard style too. So that's where that's at. I might have to cut a little notch in here, only for this part right here, because it's kind of sliding around, and I figured that would hold it down better. I put screws in here to strengthen everything. Right here, I started drilling a little hole. I got to dig it out a little bit more for for the little apizio to glue in. So, hope you can't see that. So I got to notch it out more for the little apizio to fit in. So that'll be hot glued down in there, and I hook the wires up. So we got that going. I also got, and as you can see, as this sits in here, it likes to slide. Let me give you a little more angle on my bench. Hang on, give you a little more angle on my bench here. As you can see, this part is sliding in. So I'm thinking about putting a little notch in, so when I drop it in, it'll go right. Because this actually will sit down and go right in there. So I still gotta do that. I did get the fretboard all slotted. Kind of had a couple variations on my sled on my saw, so I got that together. So that's ready to be glued on here. I'm gonna glue that on. A few more rubs of fine sandpaper. I'm going to glue that on, and then I'm going to stain the neck before I glue this into here. I'm going to do some Danish oil on the neck and see how that turns out. So that's still on the docket. The other thing I did with the box, as you can see, is I drilled 2 holes. This is that screen repair. It's actually black, so I actually glued screens right in the holes, as you can see, and it goes really nice with the black of the ducks. So there's the 2 sound holes. I've got to get corners glued in. I've got to get my little eyelets, and I'm gonna put a spring all the way across the whole bottom to vibrate. So that'll be installed. These here I put in as part of, to give that neck that little bit of angle to tip it to get it in the right spot. So that's the box and things that we got done. So we're moving right along. The other thing I had that came up when I was at work, I found an old, let me move this here. I found an old broom handle, and so I was thinking about doing this project. I found an old broom handle, as you can see. It's long, and at work we have a bandsaw, so right away I cut that out, and I flattened it here to put a tuner, to be able to put a tuner on here and make after the namesake, a diddly bow. I got my Bo Diddley shirt on. So this will turn into a diddly bow. And I saw where they use the odd-shaped cigar boxes. So I'll show you the smaller ones I had that I'm thinking about making those into a diddly bow. So this is kind of next project because we're getting close to getting finished with this. I've got to order the strings. I think I might use Dale Puckett's discount because I don't have a discount. But I've got to order the strings, which I'll use on other cigar boxes. I found out the gauge. I'm going to put them in, let me see if I can remember. I wrote it down. 46 is the low E string, 46, 44 for the middle B string, and 26 for the high E string, because I like the E tuning on the cigar boxes. I like the way that sounds and came out. So I've got to order those strings. I'm thinking about, since I only need 3 strings for these things, ordering them in 12 packs from CBG. That's where I'll probably use Dale Puckett's discount. Those guys all have like discounts, but I might as well get in on 10% off. So I got to order those up for this guy, and a little bit more sanding. I got to glue the neck down, then I've got to fret it, and then basically put it together. You know, then I gotta hook the bridge up. So it's coming along pretty quick now. So I thought, well, we might as well start diving into another project, and we might as well do a diddly bow. Because I saw this YouTube channel where, and I forget who it was, if it was Southern Fire Guitars or if it was Dale Puckett. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was neither of them. They used the smaller cigar boxes. Let me grab you one. I'll show you one real quick. Hang on. Okay, well, I got a few down. Eventually I want to move my boxes over here on this shelf right in here, right there, so I can get to them easy. Right now I've got them way up there and I got to really reach. But I got a couple down. The first one I was looking at is this one here. It's got this really crazy coin. It opens like this. You know, I could run the thing right through here, you know, and move this little coin. I think that might come. Oh, I see. It's actually hooked up to that piece. So that might be an option to use this one. As you can see, it's got nice hinges. It's a nice sounding box. So that would be, you know, on here like this. So that's one option. I don't know, this one's kind of really, I like the way it opens, and I like this little crest. So I don't know about this one. This is really fancy for a diddly bowl. I don't think a guy that was playing a diddly bowl would be able to afford these cigars, because these are probably really expensive. Interesting box. That's the only reason I bought it was, or I might have got it with the collection of the other boxes I had, because it really has a nice piece. This thing here, eventually you could sink into a headstock. If I had another Macanudo box, you could put that put that little coin in the headstock. So that might be an option. The other one I had, which is kind of an oddball one, which will probably most likely be the candidate now that I think about it. It's this one here. It's a little red one, Punch. Good cigars though too. But it has a top. The top's kind of squeaky. The top just slides on like that. But that might be perfect, because all I'd have to do is drill a hole in here, a hole up here to run the stick through. So this might, you know, run the stick through. So this one might be a candidate. So you could see it. It would come through like that. Or actually up on top. It'd come through like that. So this might be a candidate too, because what do you do with that small of a cigar box? Except I got one in my studio where it's a fancier one. It was a fancier one, like kind of a fancier one like this that I put stuff in, which kind of this one might become a box kind of like that. You know, to store scrap wood or something that looks pretty. I've got, so this one might become the candidate of the diddly bow. So you just have the broomstick and one string and this baby rocking. So stay tuned for that. This is I'm kind of preparing for the next project, and it looks like that'll be the one once we get Nate's duck box here done, because we're really close now. All majority of the work is in the neck, and fretting and dressing the frets, and so we're getting up to that point. So yeah, so this might be the diddly bow, diddly bow cigar box, which is kind of fitting, for bow with the square guitars. And because original diddly bow, they would just use anything. They could use a 2x4 with a Coke bottle on it. I've seen all, just for the one string to be stretched. But I thought this would be a little bit more elegant and nicer. But I was real happy to find this stick. So when I cut it open, you can see it's really nice wood. It's not like your normal just cheap pine stick, kind of an older stick. So yeah, I think it would pair nice with this. I think it would pair real nice with that. So that'll be up and coming. It's funny how when I watch these other YouTube channels, you're egged on by kind of the things you see, and this would have been one of those where I saw a guy using these smaller cigar boxes to make diddly bows, and I don't think I could get 2 necks out of this, but maybe I could, because they only have to be as long as like this neck is, but I don't think I could get 2 out of it. Maybe there may be enough for another one, but we'd have to check that out later. But and maybe make 2 of them. I've got some other smaller boxes as well. I do have one interesting one, and I found, talking about boxes that I don't use, and I probably should eventually use it. I found this one. Hang on, it's on this shelf here. Sorry to get so close. I found this one at a swap meet, and here it is. It's an old Santa Fe, which is really cool. Somebody was putting assorted watch parts in it, so it's old, which I thought, oh, that makes it even cooler. Or I guess you could see that on the front too. But then when you open it up, if I built something in this, I would have to build this like it looks like some kind of old stamps are right there. It has the cigar stamp here. But when you open it up, then it really gets cool. And you can see it's got 15 cents for cigars, which is real cheap. 15 cents. And you can see the inside there, and it's looks like a cedar. I mean, it's all wood inside. So Santa Fe high grade cigars, which I kind of keep this one up on my bench, just sitting there because it's so antique-y looking. But it probably would make a good box. You can hear it's pretty good. It's old wood. So anyway, so that's always could be a project, but because it was so old, you can tell the age because 15 cents for cigars. I don't know how old that is. There's probably a way to look that up on the interwebs of that cost of a cigar and when that was around. So, but I thought it was a cool one. I couldn't pass it up when I saw it. In fact, when I bought it, it had stuff in it, that they were trying to sell. Not watch parts, but it had other, I think it had electronic parts in there. And so I asked the guy, hey, can you dump, I don't want those. Can you dump those out and I'll just buy the box? And I think I got the box for like $1 or 50 cents. So that was pretty cool. So that's the ever-ending search for boxes. Like the other shows I see, they have them around, and the boxes become inspiration as well. Yeah, I see another. I got another now that I look up there, I got to get these down and rearrange things. I've got another, you know, those Cuban rounds I have. I've got another one that is smaller that could potentially be another cigar box or diddly bow type style because it's smaller than the ones I was using, the one where I built that other one. So, anyways, so that'll be the show as we make progress on this, getting it done, and as we start developing our next project of diddly bow and getting the strings in. I've looked them up on CBG. I found some that said they had 46, 40, 42, and 22. But originally I heard that it should be 44, 40, and 22. So anyways, there's different gauges, and so I'm a little worried about going other than the gauges that I heard these people put out there, because I know that changes things. So I think I'm going to go with the one I just heard today on Dale's channel. He was actually playing his blue plastic cigar box. I think he had it at that festival too. But that was where he had the 46, 44, and 26 on those screens, and you could actually hear it, and it was really sounding good. So that'll probably be the route I go. So anyways, with that, we will see you next Saturday, and hopefully we'll be further along. Hopefully I'll have this thing fretted, glued on, stained, and just ready to start doing some of the smaller touches on putting this thing together, and hopefully getting some strings in. I'll have to order those and see if I can get 10% off. So I did my taxes, so that kind of chewed up my money, so I got to be a little careful on what I spend right now. But you know how that is with, I don't think anybody got away not paying taxes. If they did, they're a better accountant than me. But it's probably some of my own fault, because my company that I was working for last year didn't take enough taxes out, and I ended up paying. And I kept saying, "Oh, I got to tell them. I think what I told them, they go, "Oh, we can't fix. I can't. Somebody wouldn't be able to fix it. I'd have to do something else." And yada yada. The year went by, so there I was, kind of in that same spot of they didn't take enough out. So luckily, we filed jointly, and luckily my wife had enough taken out of her check, because I rattled her to go to HR and do it. So, but I didn't do it myself. Anyways, lessons learned there. But that's all different now that I'm on retirement. So, yeah. So enough of my tax business. You don't need to hear that. But you can tell I had to do these this week, and I paid, and it's all done. So I'm cool. Before the 15th, I had it all. So I was good. I didn't. Actually, it was a day and a half early. Sometimes I do it on the 15th, and I think there was some kind of extension in California, but I said, you know what, I'm just going to be on time, and that's what I did. So we'll see you next week. Be sure to like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll talk to you later.